Hi folks, in today's vid we're going to be repairing this scuttle panel on this Mk3 Ford Capri. Let's have a look at it. Right, well, as you've probably seen from one of my vlog videos, this Capri has got some rust damage to the scuttle panel. Now, very hard to get hold of apart the whole scuttle panel, and also to replace the whole scuttle panel means taking off the front wings. It's a hell of a lot of work, more than what the probably customer's going to want to pay. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and scart some new metal in to where the rust is on this scuttle panel. Mostly it's on the front edges here where the windscreen rubber goes round, and commonplace for a Ford Capri this, because as the rubbers perish and shrink up a bit, water gets in behind them, water sits in the little channels there, and that's where they rust. So let's have a little closer look around it just to see where it's rusted, and I'll show you the templates I've made and also the pieces of metal I've just made, and then we're going to try and cut them out and fit them in. So let's have a look at it now. Right, so as you can probably see there now, the front scuttle panel along here is where water's probably been sitting in there, and it's rusted out there. So what I've actually done, I went round and made templates of the whole of the area. For example, the curve, as you can probably see there, it goes round and causes the actual metal to be bent. So I've had to formulate a curve there out of cardboard, then I laid it flat and then basically cut the shape out, and this is the actual shape of metal which will go in there once it's bent, as you can probably see there. So that's going to be okay there. I've done one for there, I've done one for the top and also the front edge there. We've got another piece of rust along here, as you can probably see, and all I've done again is just bend a bit of metal. Now I haven't got a metal brake, so I've just done these in a vise. That bit's for there. We've got a bit further up there, as you can probably see there, which I've just laid on top of it again, and as you can probably see there, I've numbered them all up as well so we don't get them lost. But this is the sort of thing with this 1mm metal, which is about 20 gauge, it's very easy to bend the metal into place, as you can probably see there. So providing you've got all your lines made up, you can actually shape this very easily. So when I cut that out, that will go back in there like that, so that'll be brand new metal. This one here, as I say, will lay on top and be tacked together, and that will come into there like that. And as you can see, we can easily get some new metal in there, and that's what we're going to do, as opposed to changing the whole of the front scuttle panel, which actually is okay. It's literally just on these corners where the rainwater sits in here and basically rusts it out. So I'm just going to have a little play about it now, bend these to sort of shape, and then we'll look about cutting this rot out with our little Dremel tool there, and then we'll start formulating. As you can see, I've just laid them on there, I've numbered them as well, and I've also put some reference lines on them as well. So that one will go there, for example, and as you can see, we're very near the shape there now, so that can be trimmed up and dressed as and when I cut the metal out and start actually fitting it in. So yeah, I'm happy with that so far. And as I say, this is only very thin, and I've also got, just as a precaution, as you can probably see, these fire blankets tucked in there, and also on the bonnet area, because we don't want to damage the customer's car at all. So something always to be aware of as we're grinding. So yeah, let's start cutting some metal out. Right, okay then, as you can see now, I've got this channel cut out there. There's the old rotten twisted metal there, as you can see. And I've just laid this in, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tack it in place. I may not have to replace all these panels I actually cut out, like this one down the front here, for example, because I've had a little bit of a sand back there, and this is okay there, so it's not too much of a problem. So what I'll do is I'll just hold this in place, tack in places, and then I can tap this where it's got to be, and any fillet bits I need to put in, I'll be able to put in. Like I might have to do something a bit more up here, like chop this off here and make a bigger plate to go in there. So it's trial and error. We're going to get there, so we're going to start tacking in now. Right, well, we've got an initial tack of it now along the back line where we need to be. So I can just move this up and down now by levering it to get the right profile here. And obviously then I can cut this off and start dealing with this situation here. But even if I cut that off there, for example, there, maybe put fillet a new bit in there. So it's easy to do that now with the grinder. But I'm just going to carry on going along this back line. It doesn't look like I'm going to need to remove that back edge there, because that looks perfectly fine once I've ground it back. So I'm just going to carry on filling these tacks up now, and then we'll take it from there. Right, okay then, here's a little bit of a sand down I've given it. I've still got a little hole there, but I might fill that, I'm not too sure yet. But as you can see, we've got the contour in now. That's spot welded in there. None of this gets seen. You've got a big thick rubber strip that sits over the top of that. So all this is literally undercover, and it won't get interfere with the windscreen, because the windscreen actually fits into the rubber strip, if you know what I mean. It's a big bulky thing that clips over the top of this. So we've got a few holes there, but I mean that can be taken up with a bit of filler, or I could just dab a bit more weld on that. But yeah, I think that's okay now. As you remember, all this was perforated along there now, so that's nice and solid. So I'll just carry on now and start doing the other ones. We've got our contour there, as you can see, and that's going to be okay once it's all had a little skim of filler over it. I mean, if this was a proper restoration job, you could obviously do lead loading in this, and that'll fill in all these little holes and everything. So but obviously this ain't a restoration job. This is just a client who's having a respray basically, and this is just some extra additional work we've come up against. So yeah, should be okay. Right, we've had a little cut of this one out now. Let's just see if we can work this one out. Again, it's sort of double thickness in places, this handy little thing to Dremel, but you do tend to go through the discs when you use the Dremel. As you can see, totally rotten there, look. Although only just coming through on the other side, as you can see there. But we get rid of all of it. Right, so I'll just clean this hole up now, and then we'll offer our new patch into place. I've made this one slightly longer, but as you can see, should be no problem fitting that back in there and just tacking it in place. So I'm going to get on with this one, and I'll see you again in a minute. Right, okay then, we've done a bit more. Let's just show you. Right, so I did put a little corner bit in there. I did speak to you about that before. I said I was going to put a bit of corner in, and that's what I've actually done there. So now there's some pinholes in there obviously, but they'll be taken in with a primer. And don't forget, all this lot sits under the rubber anyway, so I'm pleased with that. This here again, we've had to again scut a bit in there, and again all under the rubber, so a little thin skim of filler along there. Hopefully that's going to be okay along there. I haven't done the other ones yet. This one isn't as bad as what we thought, this one here, so we're just going to cut a little section out there and one there as well, and that could just be surface, because that's double skim there as well. So, and the bad one is the one on the other side, which was very much like this one, but as I say, I'm pleased with that now. So right, okay then, so we've done a little bit of body work on it now. As you know, we've got the weld through primer on it. We just put a little thin skim of P40 on it just to take in them pinholes, and it's still rough at the moment, but I'm sure you can see now that that's a nice job there, and it will take a nice bit of surface filler once we've finished it. We've got the shape as we wanted, and there's the middle bit, as you can see. Just literally kept that ridge line there, which we was hoping to keep, because that's where the rubber goes up to. So everything's going to be all right with a nice little sand down, and yeah, pleased with it. It's turned out very well. There you go, just a little bit of filler on there. Right, we've got this bit scarted in there now, so we've got rid of all that dodgy metal which is there. These little black spots here, absolutely just surface stuff, that's no problem whatsoever. The old Vactan will take care of that, and the grinder. And all I've done now is to cut out this little front piece here. As you can see, I'm just going to scut a piece in there and a little bit there as well. So I was hoping to keep away from this brazing, so I think I'm going to be okay there. Failing that, there's no rot in there. That's actual clean metal underneath. I might just put a bit of filler in that just to finish the edge off, but I'm going to put some metal in there now anyway, so I'm going to cut a little patch to shape and we'll put that in, finish spot welding all in here where we can get rid of all these little bits here, and then it'll be the same treatment as the other side. Right, okay then, so we've done all the metal work now. Again, it's nice and below the surface, so you can just come along with a skim of filler there. But before I do that, I'm going to do what I've done to the other side as well, which you probably didn't see. We've just coated this with the old Vactan treatment. You remember the old rust cure? Because it's under the rubber strip, I'm going to do it as a secondary precaution as well, before we do the old heavy zinc coat in here. This one that I've got, this Pro Coat, which it's a cold galvanised spray, which I'm putting on first. And it acts as a weld-through primer as well, in case you wanted to do some welding as well, but it's good stuff. So I'm just going to coat on this old Vactan treatment now, all around that area, as I say, because you don't really know where do you stop. It's not a restoration, as I said to you, we're doing this repair because once we took the windscreen out, it became apparent that underneath there this was all festering, so it was a matter of just stopping that and halting that from going any further. And also putting in new metal there, which we, as you've seen, we've done in this case. And this is just a little added extra bonus, just to ensure that the surface metal there, if there is any signs of rust still there, this Vactan will take care of it. So you can actually leave this on and overpaint this as well. So it's just a matter of flooding the area and letting it do its stuff. And then I'll spray it with a zinc primer, and then Jimmy can come along and just put a nice skim of filler. Right, a bit noisy in here at the moment, but there you go. That's only on there rough, as you can see. That's just drying off at the moment, but that'll be fine. The other one didn't need any filler, didn't need any grinding out, so that metal was just literally surface perforation. So we've got that one sorted now. We're going to just come along and fill that with a little bit of body filler at the end when Jimmy comes to actually do all the repairs on this and finish this corner off. But he's in the booth at the moment. He's just spraying some motorcycle fairings, but we're going to leave it in there for the Capri because obviously That's going to be coming at a later stage, that other work. So anyway, that's this little video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. And don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe if you like our videos, and we'll see you again in the next video. And until then, bye for now.